Hello everyone and welcome back to Greenpine Zoo and Gardens. We are going to visit our rhino house right now, the one that we finished in last week's episode, and we had several problems with it, if you can remember that. We added another outdoor habitat for the male rhino, and we also built two habitats for the lion-tailed macaque and the African spurred tortoise. The problem with the male rhino was that it couldn't walk into the house because the gate was too small. Yeah, I know, how could that gate be too small? Well, ask Frontier, ask them about the traversable area or the hitboxes of the animals, which are ridiculous sometimes. The other thing is, you can see the guys running into the house. This is a great thing because in last week's episode, by the end of the episode, we had guys running as well, but they were running away from the monkeys because the monkeys could escape. So I fixed both of the problems off screen. As you can see right now, where is it? Here we go. As you can see right now, we have a rhino in the house. So this means the rhino can now walk into the house and can walk out of the house as well, which is great. I had to make the outdoor gate a little bit wider so that the rhino could actually walk out there. This also means that I had to remove some of the building parts so it doesn't look that realistic anymore because we don't have any parts of the gate anymore. But yeah, for God's sake, now we actually... Oh, could you hear that in the background? That was a massive thunder. We have a massive thunderstorm out right there outside right now. And yeah, it's going to be a little bit loud eventually. Okay, so Rhino can walk in. We had to remove some parts. Everything is good now. The other thing is I pushed the invisible fence a little bit more towards the inside of the habitat for the lion-tailed macaques, and therefore they can't escape anymore as well. Okay, before we get into what is going to happen today, thank you to Nick Dentoom, who told me in the comments for last week's video that we are not that far away with our African spurred tortoise, because I was a little bit worried because we do have an African animal combined with an Asian animal, and we do have an African animal in the Asian area, so yeah, I wasn't quite happy about that. But Nick Dentoom told me in the comments that the African spurred tortoise actually does live in small parts of Asia as well. So therefore we are not too far away and everything is fine. I can sleep well at night now, and thank you, Nick Dentoom, for easing my mind. So what is happening today? We have to fill in the gap that we do have right here, right next to the outdoor habitats for the lion-tailed macaques and our big cat house. So the next one in the comment section, which was, give me a moment, I think it was, oh come on, so where's the comments now? Yeah, it was Cravanius. Cravanius said, what about having something like a water playground in that area? Also, he wanted to have some snack counters. I just call it like that. So I know the word in German, but I don't know it in English right now. So that we do have some food for our guests in here, which I thought was a great idea. That's why I put those picnic benches right next to the to the playground. But I figured out that the space was a little bit tight in here, so we have to go back to that in some of the future episodes and find out how we can add some of the food counters in here to make it look nice and realistic. But for now, we're just focusing on the water playground for the kids. Therefore, once again, I asked ChatGPT for some inspiration on what I can do to build something like the water playground in here. So I was using lots of those metal beams. I guess they were from the Aquatic DLC. I think they were, not quite sure. And also the basic shape elements to create all of the water toys in here. And by the end of the video, I'm very happy with it. I also put some invisible parts underneath the area so that our guests are actually able to walk through that area. So you will see guests walking through that water playground. You will see it in the end when we are going to the cinematics. There's actually some people going into there. So the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to start with our Himalaya Nepalese. Is it Nepalese? With a Nepal-like area. So I know you guys are laughing right now how that sounded, but I'm okay with that. You know what I mean. We are working on our Himalayan area. As it took quite some time for the water playground to build, but not enough time to fill a complete video with it, I decided we are going to have this double feature in today's video. So first, like 15 or 16 minutes, we are building the water playground, and the last part of the video, or the rest of the video, we are going to start with the Himalayan area. Yeah, I just was thinking if I'm going to talk about the Himalayan area right now or if we are waiting until we get there. But I think it is the right time to tell you guys that I thought we are going to have like 2 episodes, so today's episode and next week's episode, to prepare everything to actually build in our Himalayan area. So this means this will be creating buildings for our staff members, creating food and drink options for our guests, creating toilets, not to forget about that. I sure will. Yeah, I hope you guys remind me all the time, as you do, because yeah, at this point it's not even choking from me that I forget about it. I really do forget about those things. I don't know why, but I keep forgetting it. So yeah, and once we finished all of that stuff, we are going to build habitats for our animals, and therefore you guys can make some suggestions in the comment section to this video. Which animal or what animals do you want to see in the Himalayan area? What ideas do you have? What could we put in there? But think about all the animals that we already do have in the zoo. So some of them that you think about, like the palace cat, that would be a great addition to the Himalayan area, is not an option anymore because we do have them in the cat house already. What other animal do we have already in here that would be a great choice for the Himalayan area? I don't know. I think the palace cat might be the only one so far that we already do have in the zoo that would have been a great option. So everything else might still be in there. And there might be lots of animals that I am not even thinking about that would make sense in there. So as I said, just let me know in the comment section and I will be happy to build for those animals. Yeah, one more new thing that I have to tell you guys about is something that is new to my channel, completely new, so just like 3 or 4 days old. I started it on Friday. Yeah, Friday the 15th. So we do have community memberships. That was not a word. Oh my god. Channel memberships on Bake and Play right now. So for only €1.99 you can join the Keeper crew. That means you will have badges for how long you are a member that are right next to your name. When you comment on my channel, you will have special emojis that only members can use. The next thing is you will have the ability to have background access to what I'm doing, as I'm posting lots of pictures of the progress when I'm building in Planet Zoo, so you can see first of all of the other people what I'm doing right now, what I'm planning right now. And I'm going to give you backstage access, like showing you the pictures that ChatGPT is giving me for inspiration, so you can see what actually is the inspiration and how the real thing looks once I release the video. As I'm talking about releasing the videos, that is another thing. You will have exclusive access to the video 1 day ahead of everything else, because all of the videos that I'm releasing on my channel, you will have the access to that early. And the next thing that I'm planning, once there are enough members, there's going to be live streams on my channel as well. I'm planning with 2 live streams a month where we are doing fun things like playing games, chatting, unboxing things and testing things. By testing things, I mean I get lots of advertisements on Facebook and on social media in general about some weird products, some very interesting products, and I want to test those products with you guys. So I'm going to order them, to unpack them with you, and then we are testing them. Like I always get the ad for freeze-dried candy, for example. So I want to try that with you, if it is really that good or if it is just a scam or whatever. So that is something that I'm looking forward to. Also playing games apart from Planet Zoo. Like I always wanted to play games like RPG games, Secret of Mana, Final Fantasy and whatsoever. I love those games, but I don't find time to play those games with all the Planet Zoo stuff that is going on. So I will love to do that in the live streams and also to chat with you guys. So that's the plan. If you want to join, you can do that by looking in the video description. There's a link where you can click on membership and where you can become a member. And for everyone else that doesn't want to be a member, that doesn't want to spend €1.99 a month for the membership, don't worry at all. You will be getting all the stuff that you are getting right now on my channel. So it's not like I'm going to take away something from you. That's not going to happen. That's never going to happen. It's just a plus for the members that they are getting. But all of the stuff that is going on right now, Planet Zoo, Greenpine, DLC zoos, Planet Coaster 2, and in the future as well Jurassic World Evolution 3 is going to take part on the regular part of the channel. So there's not going to be a video that's only going to be released for members. So just to know that. Okay, so let's get back into the game. I got a picture of a slide that I also wanted to build. You know that I already did something like that in the playground area right in front of the zoo. Before you enter the zoo, there's a huge playground for the children, and I built various slides there. So I wanted to have another one in here as well, and I wanted to combine it with some water features. Yeah, and I I'm going to tell you about a problem that I was not thinking about. So I wanted to have this bucket right here with a rope where actually children could pull the rope and release the water onto the slide when someone is on the slide. So that's the idea behind that. But one thing I didn't think about is how does the water get in there? So yeah, maybe we have to get back into this in next week's episode, or I will do something off screen, because what I built right now is like, yeah, somebody filled the bucket with water, and once it is released on the slide, there's no more water in there, because how could there be? Well, as I said, we are going to take care of this in next week's episode, or I'm going to do that off screen if I think about it, if I don't forget about that. Yeah, and I think we are done with our water playground. So let's get into the Himalayan area. First of all, we need to have a new exit gate for the walkthrough aviary, because the walkthrough aviary is going to be the connection point between our tropical Asian or Indonesian area towards the Himalayan area. We're going to have another connection as well, of course, for people that might be afraid of birds, have seen the Hitchcock movie Birds, and don't want to get into an aviary where they are roaming free. So yeah, therefore we do have an option as well later in the game. But first of all, we are making this connection to get our guests to this area and get a little bit more movement in here. I'm very excited to see how it's going to work out in the game once we have our first animals in here, or the first animals that the guests are actually very excited about. So will the guests still walk to the area with the rhinos, or will they just go into the aviary and into the area for the Himalayan animals? Or otherwise, maybe we won't have any guests at all that are going into the Himalayan area. So that's going to be very interesting, and I'm looking very much forward to that, how that plays out. Oh wow, the thunder in the background is really, really loud. Damn it. Yeah, that sounds really scary. I'm not scared about thunder, especially not in the daytime. Nighttime it is a different story, but in the daytime I'm usually not very scared about thunder. So closing the aviary off as well. Oh, another thing that I did off screen is taking care of our animals, because we had several problems with some animals in here as well. Like, we didn't have a water supply for our porcupines. I didn't notice that, and I also did not look at the animal notifications. So if I had done that, I might have noticed that the animals were not starving. What do you say when, what's the word in English when they don't have anything to drink? So if they don't have any food, I know it's called starving. But what is it when they don't have anything to drink? Is there an extra word for that? I guess so. Let me know in the comment section, and yeah, I'm happy to learn something new. Some new words, some vocabulary. So as I said, they didn't have a water supply, so I had to add one, and also buy new porcupines. I only didn't notice that as I did the movie part or the cinematics, and I thought, why is the sign for the porcupines black? because it only turns black when there's no animals in there. So I was thinking they could not have been that old, and especially even though if they were, there might have been some offspring left or whatever. But none of that happened, so I noticed they might have died because they didn't have anything to drink, which is very, very, very sad, and I hate that when things like this happen. But yeah, I fixed that. They do have water now. I bought 3 new ones, so everything is good again. And we also had some problems with some other animals, I think. Yeah, especially in the aviary, overpopulation. We did have so many peafowl in here. I had to sell, yeah, all the adults that we did have in here, and I put all the other ones except 2, 1 male and 1 females, on contraceptives. Is that what it is called? I think I heard that one. Yeah, so that we don't have any new babies again, besides from those 2. I also had to sell some cats because they were grown, and yeah, it was overpopulated in their habitat, so I had to sell them as well as one of the sloth bears, and yeah, so I guess that's it. And I think I have to do that from time to time, especially the more animals we do have. I also got lots of notifications. You can see right here on the left side that our lions are going to grow up, so we have to take care of that as well, because if we do have more male lions in there, it's going to cause a problem, and I don't want that to happen, so we have to get back into that from time to time and release some of them into the wild or sell them or whatever, so that we have a healthy population of animals in this zoo. Damn it, once again thunder. What the hell is going on? We had such high temperatures in the last 1 or 2 weeks. I guess it was 2 weeks. Yeah, and since this morning at about 4 or 5, it started with the thunderstorms and raining and stuff, and it's cooling down quite nicely. So as we had about 35-36 degrees centigrade in last week, almost on a daily basis, we now have 24, which is pretty nice. So you can breathe again. You could go outdoors if it wasn't raining, so yeah. Okay, so here we are in our Nepalese area or Himalayan area. Once again, I asked ChatGPT for some inspiration on how to build buildings in a particular style. So I'm always happy to see what ChatGPT says, what I can build or how I can build things. So this makes stuff a lot easier for me. And as I'm looking at the door, it might be a little bit too small, too tiny. That is what I thought when I was recording the cinematics for the gate for the aviary. I thought it was a little bit small. Because the wooden part here is, yeah, pretty small. Yeah, we will see once the guests walk through that. Hopefully it's not too small, otherwise I have to change that. Yeah, that won't be too much work to do, but still unnecessary. If I did take care of it beforehand. Okay, whatever. I also wanted to ask you guys, what should we do for our guest facilities? Should we have some smaller buildings with some picnic areas, or should we have a restaurant in here? Let me know what you guys think, what would fit the theme best. So maybe a big restaurant for our guests that we are going to build in next week's episode. Damn it, that is so loud. I wonder if you can hear it when I'm when I'm releasing the video. Yeah, let me know what you guys think about it. What would fit the area most? Should we have a restaurant, or should we have some smaller food counters where our guests can buy stuff and have something like several smaller picnic areas around here? And once again, something happened here with me, like it did with our DLC zoo, Lotus Valley Zoo, where I'm building a zoo in the Indian style. So I'm having so much fun building that stuff. Here as well, by creating this building, I never built something in this style, but I really enjoyed it. And I think it looks quite nice in the end. So as I also put down all of the other buildings here, so staff buildings, I have to say, this one right here is the only one that we are going to finish in today's episode, because if I had finished all of the other buildings as well, this video might have taken an hour or so, and I thought that would be too boring, so we're going back into that in next week's episode. We're going to finish that so that we can start with the actual animal habitats in 2 weeks from now. Customizing the windows a little bit, and building a very simple fence that works completely fine for this area. And if you do have a channel membership, you can see the picture for this exact building, the inspiration that I took from ChatGPT to build exactly this one right here. Some of the smaller windows here. Mixing styles a little bit, but in the end everything works out fine and comes together pretty nicely. Using lots of the building parts that we got from the Tropical DLC, which is very nice. I think I wasn't the biggest fan of it once it was released, but right now, looking back on it, looking back into the pieces that the Tropical DLC brought us to the game, it's amazing. I really love those pieces. The wooden beams, the stone pieces with the moss on it. Very cool. Especially when you build something in a tropical environment. So yeah, totally cool. And if you were wondering by the end of the video why I didn't add any windows on the left side of the building, And that's because I wanted to extend the building a little bit. Within next week's video we are going to have some food options there, so that's the plan right now. Depends on, are we going to have a restaurant or are we going to have something different, but I wanted to extend the building on that side a little bit, so therefore I didn't put any windows to that, because I thought we might not be done. The best part by building stuff like this is when it all comes together in the end. When you start building and going into detail work and adding this piece and that piece, and once it is done you look at it and you say, yeah, that's it. That's exactly what I wanted to have. And that's how I felt about this. Unfortunately, I had to go into the grid pieces for the roof because I couldn't use any other piece to make this roof look nice. So therefore I had to use those. And I'm not mad at it, not at all, because as I said, in the end it looks so cool, and therefore, yeah. Just go with some grid pieces. Won't kill me. And here for the roof I had to make some creative stuff to fill the gap and have a nice end of the roof. So I was using those pots and yeah, they fit perfect. So sometimes you have to use things that would not make sense in reality at all, but yeah, if they have a great shape, if they are looking nice, just go for it. Yeah, and with that being said, we are already at the end of the video. So I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy everything that I was building and you are happy with it. Just let me know in the comment section. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the hype button, and also sign on to the Keeper crew if you want to. And yeah, I'm looking forward to everything that is coming to my channel within the next few weeks and months. So guys, take care of yourself, stay healthy, and see you in next week's episode when we are going to continue to build in Greenpine Zoo. Bye guys!